Red alert! Red alert! Andy is coming upstairs!
Hey all, Plastic Commander here, and man, did I wake up to a surprise today.
Good morning, Slits.
So, I posted to r/roastme on Reddit, and when I posted, I was like, maybe, if I do this, a couple of people will see that and subscribe for the meme. Like, oh, look, it's a guy who has a bunch of toy army men, That's kind of interesting and quirky. I'm gonna give him a sub. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna subscribe. And I was up till 5:30 replying to people on the post. And when I went to bed, the sub count on the channel was at 150, and I was like, call me Mike Wazowski. Okay, call me Mike Wazowski, because I didn't expect that. So, yeah, I woke up and we were at nearly 700. And it was funny, as I was going to bed, I was like, wow, what am I going to do for a subscriber special? I have to do, something to celebrate this, right? And I woke up and my buddy had texted me and he was like, dude, you have 700 subscribers. So, I never thought I would be saying this in the history of ever, but thank you, Reddit. Thank you.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end.
Was like, you're not just for pornography after all. Who would have thunk it? Not me. So, my last video, it has 1.1 thousand views, which is bananas. Call me a minion, because that's bananas.
Guys, I'm sorry, but I don't have a minion.
Okay. And yeah, that's just crazy to me that so many people would care about toy army men. So, a few things. One, I'm gonna get an actual camera and a mic, I promise. Please don't hit me, I have a Shane kink. Believe it or not, I actually have no experience filming or editing anything ever. Pretty much everything I'm doing right now is from my iPhone. I have an iPhone XR, and I'm using iMovie. Like a degenerate piece of crap. I told one of my friends at work that I was using iMovie, and he drugged me out to the back of where we work at by my hair, and he shot me in the leg. So luckily I healed from it pretty quick though. And yeah, I have no experience. Funnily enough, a guy I work with who subscribed to me walked up to me today and said, your audio sucks. And I was just like, yeah? So, it was really funny. But anyway, now that I have some more eyes on me and we're at 700, we gotta celebrate. I got myself a camera, like an actual decent camera that is much better than my phone, and I'm going to get a mic to go with it, and I'm also going to actually start editing these on a computer. If you haven't noticed, I look and act like a baby boomer. So I'm basically a baby boomer in like a 23-year-old's body. Like, I have ancient toys, and I don't know how to use a computer. But again, guys, thank you so much. I am going to have another video where I discuss the actual post on roastme. It got taken down. If you can't find it, it got taken down for advertising. One of the moderators took it down. There's a rule against advertising, which I had posted in one of the higher upvoted comments my YouTube link, because a lot of you guys were asking for my YouTube link, and so I thought I'd just make it easier by just putting it there. I figured if anyone wanted to look at my YouTube when I posted the video, they could just go to my page. I have it linked to my page as well as our subreddit r/PlasticToyDudes, which I post there. I post pictures of my collection. If any of you guys are interested, other people post there. And it's just another Army Men subreddit. I say that as if there's like 100 of them. There's like 3. But yeah, guys, please go follow that. Or don't. I'm not your mother. Anyway, I was thinking, what are we going to do for a sub special? What are we going to do? And the answer is right here next to me. So, I thought it would be fun if we go through my collection shelf. This is a small percentage of what's in my collection. This is just kind of some of the highlights and the merchandise. I also collect the Army Men video games, so we're going to be seeing those as we go down level by level. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, starting off our video, I figured before we look at the big kahuna, we would move over and look at these 2 shelves that sit right behind me, which are littered with tons of tanks and tan vehicles, mostly tan. There's one green puke, as Michael Ackerman would call it, sitting amongst them. This is just a small collection of some of my tan vehicles, and these shelves that they're sitting on are from GameStop. Our local GameStop in our local mall actually closed down about a year ago, and I went in there on their last day, and it was funny because I joked to my friend, man, I think, you know, maybe they'll sell me the shelving and the fixtures and stuff. And of course I went over there and looked, and sure enough, they were selling these for $1 a piece, which was a really good deal, so I picked up some. The only thing is they don't work super well. I have them hooked into my wall, and the way they're supposed to work is that these hook into the actual wall in a GameStop. The way they have the wall design, it's a panel design, and they hook that in there, and it sits kind of at an angle so the games can all sit on it. I have 4 other of these. I'm gonna probably do some more up here in this empty space, put some more vehicles behind me. Without further ado, let's climb over here to the shelf, and we're gonna start at the top where you guys cannot see. And there's a lot of stuff up here. So there's a lot of books. I love books. I probably have about 300 books. I'm an English major, so of course I have the complete works by Shakespeare right there, and it's sitting in front. Are some vintage guys. This guy right here, which I have yet to identify. I'm honestly unsure. I got him in a grab bag from a thrift store. I know he's pretty vintage though. A couple of vintage Timmy toy Army Men from the 1950s. BMC General Grant. A football player. I'm going to have a video on Army Men that aren't necessarily military themed. And then there's one I painted a couple of years ago, just for fun. I paint occasionally. And then a couple of Marx figures, Pirate, and another figure I painted right there. So, this guy right here is actually probably one of my favorite Army Men in general that I own. In fact, I'm debating getting a tattoo of just him, because I like him so stinking much. Another Marx figure, and this guy is really important to me because this is one of the few Army Men that I own from when I was a child. So, Thinkway Toys released The Bucket of Soldiers after Toy Story 3, and I was about 10 years old when that movie came out. I'm 23 now, came out in 2009. I was about 10, 11 years old, and I had a bunch of these Buckets of Soldiers growing up, and I lost them all. And, well, when Toy Story 4 came out, they re-released him, made him a Target exclusive, so of course I picked up 2. And before Toy Story 4, I was looking at getting one, but online they were going for like $50 new. So I'm really, glad that movie got released. This is the Revell. I'm sorry if there's any dust, but this is the Revell Halo Pelican gunship. And these go for about $100 new now. I have 2 of them that I got for $10 each. I got lucky pressing them. There we go. And I freaking love this thing. Like, it's so cool. I'm not even necessarily a big Halo guy. I'm a PlayStation loser, but I love that thing so much. So, coming down, a shelf that y'all may be able to see, and also, get ready, this shelf is kind of a mess, but this is the Caveman shelf. So, the idea about each shelf is that each one is supposed to become some kind of battle, you know, just to show off some of my figures. Although I have so much on the shelf now, it's basically just a hodgepodge of crap. So these Cavemen are made by Imperial. As far as I know, they're original figures by, and there goes Cobra Commander. But these are original Imperial figures. I don't know if they're rip-offs of anything. I know Tim E made Cavemen in buckets, but these are not those. And then some dinosaurs dotted throughout. And in the back, Portal Runner, the Army-Men Air Attack games, and some of the world's smallest Army-Men, which I am going to do a video on those later down the line. And of course, this wouldn't be complete without a Toy Story Army-Man Funko Pop. Another Caveman right there, Game Boy Army-Man game. I have about half, just over half of the Army-Man games. You'll see the rest of them as we're going down. So, coming down here to the World War II shelf, we got a lot going on. There, of course, is the flag raising at Iwo Jima that you saw in the last video. And there's a little hill back there. I don't have really any lights that go through here. So, get ready. It's going to be a little dark. But anyway, and then just a little lower, you see my variety of 3-inch Marks American Soldiers, which I love these guys. Marks was such a great toy company, and they're going to get their own video later down the line. I especially love this guy here. This is a 6-inch Timmy Bazooka Man, which I'm trying to collect all of the 6-inch Timmy figures right now. And in the back, some Hing Fat figures, some German soldiers, and there's a Marks German, and there's another one back there. I have about 16 white Germans and about 14 gray Germans, NPC German. And this little guy, I call him Sergeant Thread and Needle. A good friend of mine made that for me, and I freaking love him. So awesome. And stuff is just falling everywhere. There we go. In the back, some large, way larger than 6-inch Army guys. Those you can find at Hobby Lobby. I got most of mine on sale. And there's a GameCube copy of Army-Men RTS, which quite personally is my favorite Army-Men game. It's just a very solid RTS game. A really good first RTS for if you're really young. A deck of cards with Rosie the Riveter. And some Desert Storm collectible cards by Topps. Those are from the 1990s from Operation Desert Storm. I have a bunch of those. I bought a bunch of them from a flea market or maybe a thrift store a long time ago. So crouching down just a little bit. And if you see Nerf bullets scattered throughout these shelves, I got bored and I started shooting at it. So I probably should have cleaned this up a little better. So anyway, Civil War shelf. And right in front, we have a couple of 6-inch Marks Western figures. Right here, we got a cowboy getting shot, and we have a Native American on the warpath. And I freaking love both of those. I'm trying to collect more 6-inch figures right now of Marks. And another 6-inch Timmy soldier who looks like he had a tussle with the family dog from whoever I bought this from last. And then behind them, a bunch of Civil War soldiers, which these Civil War soldiers have been around for a few decades now. Mostly sold in hobby shops. If you ever had to do a diorama for school at any point in your life, you probably got some of these. So, pretty cool. In the back, I have a bag of tiny Army-Men, more small Army-Men. Those are from the 90s. Unopened. You see Army-Men, World War, Land, Sea, and Air. Just hiding in the back there. And of course, over here, Army-Men Sarge's Heroes 2. Which the PlayStation 2 version is damn near impossible. It is a hard game, believe me. I tried beating it and it's just ridiculous. eventually I'll do videos on the Armyman games once I become a little bit more tech savvy. And finally, our last shelf, the one below it, is just storage. Here's all my yellow Armymen. You see some British and some yellow Timmy soldiers. I call that the piss platoon. But anyway, down here we have our space kind of set up, and it's kind of a mess. This is the messiest one. But in it, you see a bunch of Star Wars command figures, which I'm going to give them their own video. And primarily, Galaxy Laser Team. I have Galaxy Laser Team in almost every color but pink and white, which are the two they don't reproduce anymore. And in the back, Sarge's War, which was the first Armyman game I ever played. I jumped in the Armyman games pretty late, because I'm only 23. Green Rogue, which is like an arcade-style game. I haven't played it, but I've watched gameplay. And then Armyman 3D, which was, I believe, the first one to come to PS1 after all of the games that were on PC, all the strategy games. And then right over here is a tube of Monsters vs. Soldiers. These guys were produced by a lot of companies, the biggest one being Imperial, which they make a lot of Armyman stuff today. Well, they just went bankrupt recently, and if you don't know who Imperial is, you probably had some of their Armymen growing up if you're around my age. They made knockoff Timmy Armymen for Walmart. So if you ever bought Armymen from there, from a Walmart, or maybe even the dollar store as well, I'm pretty sure Greenbrier, which they make the Armymen for the dollar store. That was a parent company of Imperial, so you've probably bought their Armymen before. But anyway, they made these tubes, and I got this one online, not realizing that it was in Spanish. Part of it's in Spanish, at least. Monstrous versus Militari. So my Spanish is pretty terrible. I cheated my whole way through it. But anyway, guys, that is my Army Guy shelf. So thank you guys again just so much. I really can't believe that it just blew up so crazy. When I made that post, I wasn't making it with the intention of shilling my channel and trying to get subs out of it, but that's kind of what ended up happening. In my head, I was like, I may, get a couple subs out of it, people who are just curious, because there's not a lot of guys on there who do, like, toy Armyman stuff. But, it went freaking crazy. 700 in less than 24 hours. Like, that's bananas. And you shot my last video from, I think, around 200 views to 1,100. So, again, crazy. I am a little upset that my Roast Me post got taken down. Although I guess technically broke a rule. Putting my YouTube link there. But, it just surprises me that a Reddit moderator, of all people, can be so cruel. Like, who would have thought that? Right? But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Right before I go, some shout-outs. Firstly, Little Oofy, thank you. I've seen you in the sub, r/PlasticToyDudes forever now. Thank you. You've been there since day one when I decided to do this, and you've commented and watched everything. So again, thank you. Everyone at work, I really wanted to hide this channel from you guys. So,
that's unfortunate.
But anyway, everyone at work has been real positive about it. So again, thank you guys as well. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this video for today. So keep that notification bell on. Make sure to like and subscribe. And we're going to be hitting you with some more Armyman content. So thanks for watching. I'm the Plastic Commander.
Mission accomplished. Well done, men. Pack it up. We're going home.